Again, pretty small and difficult to get to. And now, what the heck just happened here? Oh boy. Wow. Alright, so Coat of Bell. You saw this live. I unboxed this right here, and I had the top zipper come off on me just by trying to close this thing. It just literally just went right off the top of this. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Brian, and as usual today we are coming at you in 4K. Today I have a pack that I am really excited about, and I think it gets the designation, if you can believe this, of being the first pack out of all the packs that I've bought, where I bought it basically sight unseen the moment that I saw it. Meaning it wasn't a release that I was aware of or was expecting or was planning to get. I saw this for sale. I looked at all of the features it had and the price point, and I thought to myself, that is a really well-designed pack and a really reasonable price point. So here we go. This is the Coat of Bell Double Name Project 2 4020X backpack. Now that is a mouthful. Osaka, Los Angeles. Oh, this is nice. It comes in its own kind of really premium dust bag. Let's take a look at this. Now, this is a collaboration between a Japanese brand, Harvest Label, and Coat of Bell. I'll be honest, I've never heard of Harvest Label before, but I have heard of Coat of Bell, and I have not purchased anything that they've made until this, because a lot of it looks really modern, really futuristic, just not kind of right where I'm looking for from a design perspective, maybe on the fringe of my interest, as you know, things have been with some other packs that I've looked at. But this one to me was just a home run when I saw it. So let's get this bad boy open and see what we've got. And this just right off the bat is a really nice touch. Osaka, Los Angeles, I'm guessing that's the Harvest Label logo, and Coat of Bell. Wow. Okay, all right. Initial impression, just pulling it out of the bag. This is an ECOPAK material. I believe it's going to be the same as what we have on the Evergoods Cap 2. And it does, in fact, look the same. So, black ECOPAK, except the bottom here is actually Cordura. And it feels very premium. It looks really nice, really positive impression taking it out of the bag. Harvest Label, Coat of Bell. This isn't even paper. This is kind of rubberized. It's nice. It's very premium. Where to start? Honestly, just the back is probably what surprised me the most. The foam padding that we have back here is not like anything that I have on any other packs. The kind of holes in the backing are actually quite large. Mesh over the top. It's very airy, very pliable, and very thick. It feels like it's going to be a really comfortable pack to wear, and a thinner version of that foam carries into the straps. So I feel like this is going to be quite a comfortable pack. Man, where to start? This really is a lot going on. Now, one of the features that really had me interested in this pack that is quite different, I'm going to expand the compression straps on this so we can kind of see what this looks like full size. I'm going to start at the bottom. There's a lot to go over, but the bottom had me the most interested because it actually has almost what you'd expect out of a duffel bag compartment on the bottom for shoes or something, but this is on a backpack. I've never seen that before. Not to say it doesn't exist, but it's rare. And I just thought this was a super cool place to be able to store stuff. I wasn't sure what. The interior is a really nice kind of fiery orange liner, and it's actually really subtly a camouflage pattern. So really pretty beautiful, very durable feeling. Feels like kind of a nylon 420D pack cloth. I don't know what it actually is, and it's got 2 vents to air it out on either side. Now the first thing I noticed is the zipper is not really all that smooth. It's snagged up a little bit in certain areas as I went over this. Let me try this again a couple times, see what I think. Alright, so right there on this edge, it's snagging for me a little bit. And that was kind of one of the areas I was wondering about. These are YKK zippers, but they're not kind of your standard looking zips. They feel a little bit smaller. I'll have to pay attention to that. Now, this compartment is a reasonably nice size, and in fact, you know, when I was thinking of putting maybe a jacket or some clothing down here, the head of Suburban in Hong Kong, a backpack store, actually said a Peak Design small V2 camera cube fits there perfectly. Now, I don't have the small, but I do have the extra small that I've reviewed on this channel, and it never occurred to me to stick the camera equipment down there. Now, the extra small fits with room to spare, obviously, if a small fits perfectly. Height-wise, it actually is pretty solid, so that is actually a fantastic use case that I was not anticipating with this bag that would actually make this really useful for travel. So I'm really excited about this bottom compartment. And I think I'll just leave that in there. But you know, before I do that, let's actually see what this bag weighs before I fill it up with stuff. This bag weighs 3 pounds bang on. The choice for the Cordura versus the ECOPAK on the bottom is an interesting touch. I'm not mad at it. I do wonder about it a little bit, but aesthetically it doesn't look bad. It doesn't really draw attention to itself too much being at the bottom of the pack. A really nice tacked in handle down here. Feels like it actually would be quite solid to hold it from this. Not that that would make any sense, but for access, if it's in an overhead bin or something, that's actually really nice that that's there, and that it's a durable feeling, really hefty duty sort of handle. As we work our way up the pack, where do we go to next? I think let's just go to the top, because the top actually has some interesting features to itself. So we've got a couple of V-buckle fidlocks up top here. And this is basically just kind of a cap to the pack. So we've got some compression straps up top. You could throw a sweater or something underneath this, a water bottle. But this actually fully detaches. So it's the same orange liner underneath. And on the back side, what do we have? How does this attach? So we've got some Velcro. So that comes off, and then you basically have to detach this like that from the top, which is interesting because it's almost like the attachment point would be load lifters, but it's really just attached to Velcro. So pretty interesting design that they've got there for how this hood attaches to this pack. I'm not sure that, you know, the Velcro is the cleanest setup, especially once it's off. It looks a little bit funny up here, a little bit naked, but I suppose it works. Is there anything else interesting about this? Yes, there is. Wow, that's pretty cool. So we actually do have up top a basically hidden kind of zippered quick access pocket, and pretty healthy. It doesn't go all the way to the front edge, but still a really nice size for putting your phone, your wallet, keys, anything you need to get at very quickly, maybe passports if you're traveling, although you got to make sure this thing really is secured well. You don't want this thing coming off on you if you put really valuable stuff in here. But that's nice. So let's set this off to the side and keep exploring into the face of the bag. So along the side we have a couple of fidlocks. Really, this is a crazy hodgepodge of connectors, really premium stuff. I mean, these fidlocks, you know, if you have to buy them to customize your own pack, are a kind of price point multiplier, as it were, and we've got 6 of them in different styles on this bag, so they didn't skimp out on the connectors. This water bottle pocket right here, it's ECOPAK, and then it's got some mesh on the back side that's got a little bit of give to it, so it can stretch. How much can it stretch? I guess it could stretch a pretty fair amount. It feels a little bit clunky. The design just doesn't feel all that, I don't know, for lack of a better description, well thought out. I think they tried to make it kind of slim and stick with the pack, but it doesn't really like expand all that easily, and it feels pretty slippery inside, and it also doesn't feel particularly deep. And that makes sense because it stops at this bottom area. So I'm not one to use really large water bottles, but I feel like this is not going to be really large water bottle friendly. I feel like a lot of it might hang out the top. Let me go get a couple of water bottles and we're going to test this. I usually don't test the water bottle pockets, but I actually want to know how this is going to behave. Alright, so I've got 2 water bottles. This right here is an Alfa Romeo Icy Hot Stuntas water bottle I got from Car Week. And this right here is a 600 milliliter Memo bottle. Now, don't know the capacity, but the dimensions height-wise, this is about 10.5 inches. And this one, about 10.5 as well, maybe 10.25. So let's take a look. If we put this water bottle in the side, you can see it feels like almost half of it, if not more, is sticking out the top, which is not ideal. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of the depth of this pocket or really the overall design of it. Now, let's see if I try a slim one. Is that going to be a little bit better option? I think so. You know, that fits in there quite nicely by comparison, but it also feels really prone to just falling out. Yep, so, I don't know, a little short. It's a little short. Would have been nicer if it was a little bit longer. It's also really slippery. Let's move on. To the face of this pack, we've got a pocket up top that's maybe yay deep, not particularly wide. Really looks like it'll just fit a wallet. I'm not even sure if it'll fit a phone. Barely. You can see that. Modern smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S21, barely fits it right there. And it's just a magnetic closure, so not particularly secure when it's just in this design. Now, if you throw the hood over the top, then you obviously have a lot more security with respect to that pocket. Along the side in the front, we've got 2 additional pockets on this side, it looks like, and I'm getting caught with the zipper again right there. So these are not the smoothest zippers. You kind of have to be a little bit deliberate about how you're pulling them and how things are aligned, otherwise they're going to snag. This pocket honestly, I don't know how useful this is. So it's about halfway through the front, maybe squared off like that. It is lined, but it's small, and the access point is pretty tight and difficult. I'm assuming the top one is going to be the same story, and it pretty much is. So the other half of this front, access over here, goes to the other side. Again, pretty small and difficult to get to. And now, what the heck just happened here? Oh boy. Wow. All right, so coat of bell. You saw this live. I unboxed this right here, and I had the top zipper come off on me just by trying to close this thing. It just literally just went right off the top of this. So I'm gonna be returning this one, and I don't know, that's tough, man. This might be a straight up deal breaker for me because I'm just not interested in packs that fall apart when you first use them for the very first time. I hope that's a fluke, I really do. Alright, quick cut, and we're back a couple hours later. You guys are not gonna believe my luck today. So filming in 4K, it eats up a lot more space on your memory card. I actually ran out of space, and in trying to free up space, I ended up deleting the original file of unboxing this, which wouldn't have been a problem normally. I could have just easily reshot the video, except the bag broke on me live on camera, and I didn't want people to think I was making this up. So I actually had to go find recovery software and figure out how to recover the original file on my SD card. It's been a couple of hours, I figured it out, I've got the file back, and so we can close this out. Now, I do want to say I've got a buddy, Ryan, who actually bought this same pack and has received it already, and I touched base with him about this zipper issue, and I had him check his pack specifically to see if this zipper on his can go higher than it should, or if it's actually kind of tacked in properly. And good news is on his pack, it's actually perfectly fine. I've got a clip of it that I'll share right now. And so hopefully this is just a one-off quality control issue, and all the rest of these packs are good. If you got this pack, I would definitely check that area just to make sure. And I'd actually love to hear from you. I'm kind of curious. So if you have this pack and you check it, let me know. Is this area an issue, or does your zipper function properly? I would not recommend just zipping it all the way up to test it. I would just stick your finger up there and see if you can kind of feel the top of the zipper area or not, to know if the zipper will just fly right off the top, or if it'll actually get stopped by being tacked in properly. Let's move on. Let's not let this ruin this video or this take. I'm gonna hope that was just a quality control issue with my pack alone. Hop over to this side. Very large pocket, comes above, it's actually above the smaller pockets on the other side. Kind of shared space. This feels much more usable, and this is an awesome touch again. Feels like a magnetic fidlock type of thing. Pretty secure, really easy to use. Really awesome again that they've included all of these extra touches at this price point. This was a $300 bag, and I mean, I'm joking, but there's like $100 in fidlocks on this thing. Around to the other side, Coat of Bell Los Angeles tag logo, same mirrored water bottle pocket, not much to say there. Let's get into the main compartment. Really nice Hypalon zipper pulls. Into the main compartment, and I didn't touch on this when I had the bottom open, but There's a lot of extra material here, which is fantastic because that means that if you're not actually using this bottom compartment explicitly, you can actually get this material to fill out the bottom in its entirety. So that's a really flexible, really modular design. It's fantastic. That's a really nice touch. And conversely, if you pack too much in the bottom, you'll actually be able to get the material to go higher. So it really makes that bottom pocket incredibly flexible. The other thing I really like about this is this kind of quilted liner that kind of backs the zipper. Completely unnecessary, it feels like, but it just looks so nice. It makes the bag feel so extra premium. And again, I mean, this orange camo liner is just beautiful. It's a really, really nice liner. Inside the main compartment, one mesh panel on the back, and it's a really light, airy mesh. On the front, same type of mesh, 2 pockets, one up top, one below, and it's pretty straightforward. So how large is it? Now, my usual test here, my go-to camera bag, throw it in there, eats it up with plenty of room to spare. What else do I have? I've got a cap too. Let's throw that in there. I've got my Peak Design extra small camera cube. Will that fit in there up top? It will. So quite a lot of room. Now in this setup, I am eating up the entire bottom compartment from the top, but you can see it can fit quite a lot of stuff. Pretty nice. Let's get into the back. Really large laptop compartment, fully lined, padded to the back. In fact, now I gotta unload this because I have to show this. It's pretty beautiful. So we've got foam padding, soft foam padding from the main compartment to the back compartment. And in the back we have this really nice Harvest label, double name Project 2, Code of Bell, Osaka, Los Angeles tag. Really premium, really beautiful, really nice touch. Laptop compartment, again padded into the back, which feels like it's got some more denser foam. I'm not feeling a plastic frame sheet per se, but the foam padding on this back is just very structured. So I think the foam actually helps this keep its shape quite well. The laptop compartment goes all the way to the bottom. So it goes through the back of this bottom pocket and it is padded all the way around. So really well thought out design and execution with respect to protecting this laptop compartment. All right, I think only thing left to do is try this bad boy on. So we've got a sternum strap. Again, really nice feeling foam straps, unlike anything that I've felt before. A luggage pass-through in the center, which is very nice. And let's just give this guy a shot and see what we think. It's interesting. I'm having kind of a hard time deciding how I feel about this. The bag is very slippery. It kind of falls to where it wants to fall. And the foam, again, is very kind of dense and structured. And the webbing is slick, so it's just kind of going to where it wants to go. And I'm trying to decide if I like it, if it's comfortable or not. I'm not mad at it. It's not uncomfortable. I think it just feels different. It feels different from many other packs that I have and use, and so it probably is going to take me a little bit of getting used to. Overall, I like the design. The design is very well thought out, very modular. All right, last thing to do here, well, I guess a couple things. One, I didn't talk about this. These straps that hold the hood in place are actually held on by G-hooks. Pretty secure, but pretty easy to get off. So I'll just take this off again so we can see what this pack looks like without these on there. Try this pack on, let you see what it looks like in this configuration. And it's funny because usually, you know, when a pack has a lot of fid locks, there's a fid lock on the sternum strap. This pack has 6 fid locks all around, and they didn't use a fid lock on the sternum strap. Just very interesting design decision there. I'm honestly kind of torn because the more that I look at this pack and think about the price point and all of the features, the more that I kind of really want to give this a shot, but I also just feel like with that one issue, I ought to just move on from this. So I'm gonna have to think about that, but let's actually get this hood back on and see how it looks with the hood on. So it actually just attaches with this one strap at the top on each side. But it's easier if I do this on the floor, so just so you can see that. All right, so I've got the hood back on, attached via the Velcro at the back. Let's put this other hook back on the front. And I actually think this configuration just looks really pretty. So if it were me, I would probably leave it on there. It makes it a little bit harder to get at the main compartment, but the fact that it has a pocket up top is very nice. And let's see how this setup looks. The other really awesome thing about this pack is that it stands up on its own. Not all of the packs that I have do that, and it is a feature that is just really, really nice when a pack can stand up on its own anywhere you're at, as opposed to just tipping over. The Unicorn 2.0 is definitely one of the newer packs that frustrates me with how it kind of falls over when you set it down. Man, I like it. I do like it. So, overall impressions, beautiful design, very well executed, nice materials. Flaw with this zipper, flaw with the zippers in general. I feel like the zippers are the weak area of this pack. It's the one thing that I would like to have seen kind of done a little bit better or a little bit more upgraded, especially given all of the fid locks that are on this bag. But it is what it is. $300 price point, 6 fid locks, ECOPAK material, lots of different compartments. I believe this is a 30-liter pack, which is a really healthy size capacity-wise, but it actually doesn't feel it in terms of the form factor. So it holds a lot really well. I think it looks very cool, but also very discreet, very Code of Bellish, so to speak. So I honestly don't know what to say here. I want to recommend it. That zipper being my only reservation, or the zippers in general being my only reservation. So I'll let you make that call for yourself. Hopefully this review was helpful. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Let me know what you think of this bag in the comments, and I will see you at the next one soon.